You did have a bit of a run on Raw. What were those moments like for you when you were on Raw and some of the conversations you had with Vince, with Hunter, when all that stuff was going down?
So one of those things that like people don't realize, and I can't even remember. Did we interact? Were you were there, weren't you?
Yeah. You guys all kind of came up, and I remember it just being a little bit like, "What's happening? What's up?" Like you guys were super confused.
Yeah, that's how we felt as well. Because like during that time period, like we were doing the story in NXT and everything was going great, and then the next minute I know I'm getting a call saying I'm going to be on Monday Night Raw, and I'm called up to Raw and SmackDown, and it was completely out of left field. We had no idea. I was in Cleveland, Ohio, at my dad. It was my dad's birthday party. I was in Cleveland, Ohio for my dad's
I
birthday
hope there
party.
was some cheese raviolis.
There was some cheese ravioli, of course.
Hell yeah.
I was at my dad's birthday party, and I was like, it's going to be a great weekend. I get to enjoy myself. I'm not going to wrestle for a little bit. It's going to be fantastic. And I get a call from Matt Bloom that says, you're going to be on Monday Night Raw on Monday. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, you're officially called up. I'm like, we're literally in the middle of, I'm the North American champion right now. Tommaso's the NXT champion. We're literally building to a match between us at TakeOver New York. What is happening? And he said, yeah. So really Ricochet, Aleister Black, me, Tommaso were called up randomly.
That's who it was. I was trying to think of who all it was. Okay, got it.
We were called up randomly in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Yes.
The worst. If you live in Lafayette, Louisiana, I'm sorry. Bad crowd that night. Not the best crowd. Probably not the best.
Not a hot crowd.
Not the best place to debut for NXT people as well. Maybe New York, Chicago, one of those markets that like are kind of smart. But no, so they called us up to Raw and SmackDown. I literally had to text Tommaso and say, hey, can you go to my apartment? Because I don't have gear. I'm in Cleveland. Like I have to fly from Cleveland to Lafayette the next day. I'm like, can you go to my apartment? We had to FaceTime. Go to my apartment, get my gear, get a suit for me to wear because I got to wear dress clothes for this occasion. So I had to FaceTime with Tommaso and tell him, okay, get that suit, get that shirt, get that. He got all that, packed it, brought it to me in Lafayette. And I think it was that might have been one of the saddest flights I've ever taken because it was just so like,
I remember you guys all feeling a little bit morose about the whole situation because none of you knew what you were doing. It all just felt very disconnected from all the work you had been doing.
I am always in the mindset of like, if you want things to succeed, you need a plan. You need long-term storytelling, long-term plan. And I felt like that's what we were really doing really well in NXT is we were telling long-term stories that people were invested in. And I feel like in wrestling, if you have a plan, most of the time it'll work out. But like you said, we got there and the whole car ride, me, Aleister, Tommaso, Ricochet, we were like, what? Because we all knew nothing. No one knew anything. We were texting people. No one knew anything. And we were like, what are we doing on this show? Like, are we a group? Are we showing up as are we the new Nexus? What's happening? Like, we had no idea what was going on. Like, what are we doing? And then we get there and we find out it's me and Tommaso versus the Revival. Me and Tommaso are teaming again in a tag. Aleister and Ricochet are doing single stuff. But okay, and we always love working the Revival because we had a great run with them in NXT and they're the best. But we just didn't know what was happening. So we go through that match, and then the next on SmackDown we wrestle Cesaro and Sheamus, and everything's great. Like Vince is awesome. I'm in the hallway just hanging out. Vince is coming up, he's smacking me on the back and saying, "Yeah, good job, kid, good job." Like everything's going great. But it's one of those things where like I felt like we had unfinished business in NXT. Like the story we were telling was not done yet, and we needed to kind of end this story the right way. So it ended up working out to where they found out Tommaso's neck, he needed surgery.
Right.
I remember we were at,
that was quick. That was a really quick turnaround all of a sudden that like it was like, now what?
Yeah. I believe we were at Raw or SmackDown and Tommaso saw the doctor and Tommaso pulled me aside and said, they're pulling me. They're making me go get surgery. And then when that happened, I was like, okay, well, what do we do now? Because I think the ultimate plan was for us to do Raw and SmackDown stuff, but keep doing NXT stuff as well. Because Tommaso was the NXT champion and I was a North American champion. I just lost it though. But and then Tommaso had to get neck surgery. I remember as soon as I heard that, I texted Sean, I texted everyone, and I was like, hey, Tommaso's out. If there's no plan, if the plan was just for me and him to be a tag team, and then I think the plan was for me and him to be a tag team, the turn to happen, me and him to feud up there. I'm not really sure logistically, but that was the plan. If you don't have plans right now, just send me back to NXT so they have somebody that can main event this takeover. And then everyone agreed that, okay, we'll send you back and then we'll bring you back eventually. And then luckily the USA deal happened and they're like, we need Johnny on USA. And then it's just one of those things where it never got talked about again. And
it's like that, like Homer Simpson back into the hedge gif.
Because as you know, it's just such a stressful environment. And some people are great in that environment. Some people love the stress. Some people love that atmosphere. I really like to know what I'm doing. I really like to know how much time we have. And if time gets cut, that's fine. But I just like to know and have a hand in the story and the process and things like that. But like I said, everyone in WWE is great. They've always treated me great, but it's just the environment sometimes is a little wild.
Little Harry Carey up there sometimes.
As you know.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. The amount of times that we'd be like going on the air and they're like, the show's not written. Vince is rewriting it right now, but let's go out there right now and start the show. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's nuts. Have you had any conversations with Hunter since you left or as you were on your way to leaving? Because obviously he wasn't around during that time with his health issues and whatnot. But have you spoken to him?
Yeah. Hunter actually reached out. I talked to him a few times. We still text here and there. He texted me and Candace when Quill was born, obviously, and congratulated us. And my one request is that, and he said he can't wait to meet Quill. And my one request is that when he meets Quill, can he please take the finger pointing picture with him? And he said he would be honored to do that. So that is what we have in the docket is Hunter's going to hit Quill with the next finger pointing picture.
Hell yeah. Get in Gorilla, get that picture taken, make it happen.
Yep.